Hello everyone, I've bought a new Casio F91W and it's a fake, a dirty fake. So today we're going to look at 7 ways that you can spot a fake F91W, and right at the end I'm actually going to take it to pieces and have a look what's inside. The first and easiest thing you can do to check if you've got a fake F91 is look at the viewing angle. So the fakes typically have got really poor viewing angles. So as I tilt this screen away from me, I've lost the time. Really difficult to read the time now. And that is just something that genuine Casios don't do. So I'll prove that on a couple of my other Casios here. So the W86, watch this. Tip that angle, still perfectly readable. Not a problem there whatsoever. And let's do that on the F105 as well. Again, no problem there whatsoever. Just going back to that fake, it just falls to pieces straight away. So that's a really quick test, and that will pretty much spot you a fake straight away. Test number 2 is to feel the watch for sharp edges. So engineering tolerances and things like that will be much better because Casio have been making the F91W for a long time and they've perfected it pretty much. But if you feel a fake, you'll start to feel sharp edges. Just kind of feel your fingers all around it. You'll start to feel little sharp bits. I can even see one there on the edge of the buckle. And certainly around the case of this watch, there are a few sharp edges. This one's not bad actually, but I feel quite a sharp edge there. You're not going to get that on a genuine F91. Test number 3 is the backplate. For some reason, the fakes are very poor at replicating the backplate. I think it's just because they can't be bothered because it's not the part that everybody looks at. But typically on kind of all the cheap Casios, around the backplate here where it kind of sticks out, there'll be a little channel, a very clear channel with a little groove in it. I'll show you one now on my F105. So if I get close enough, you should be able to see that kind of, I'll just point to it with my thumb here. Around these edges, there's a little channel running around. It's very clearly defined, and that is the same on pretty much all the cheap Casios. But on this one, it's just not there. It just transitions from the back plate and then it just raises up. That channel's not there. So back plates are usually a dead giveaway on fakes. Another easy one for you is the beep. So the beep on a Casio sounds like this. They don't sound like this. So if your watch sounds like a microwave, like mine does, it's probably a fake. We can actually use that LCD test as another way to spot a fake. So if we hold down all these 3 buttons and your fake does display this LCD screen, what we're looking for is this little dot here and the number next to it. If you can see a fairly clear gap between that dot and the number next to it, you've got a fake. On the genuine watches, that dot is really close. Quite hard to see with the human eye. You'll struggle to see the gap between them. So any indication that there's a gap between this tiny dot here and that number that's kind of completely filled in, if you see that gap, you've got a fake. Another test, another easy test, is to look at the keeper. So again, this is an area that a lot of the fakes kind of just don't really concentrate on, but look at the finishing on that keeper. It's absolutely appalling. We've got really rough edges here, and you're not going to get that on a genuine one. Look at that there. It's absolutely sticking out here. We've got a part sticking out, really poorly finished. Again, Casio are not going to let that go. Not a chance. So real easy test that one. So as I'm taking this watch to pieces, and I don't expect you to take your watch to pieces, I can already see that these screws came out too easy. I can see that the screws don't even look like Casio screws. So all clear signs that it's a fake. Hopefully you won't have to do this, but let's have a look inside anyway. Okay, so that's all the screws out now. Let's take this back plate off. It's kind of fallen off of its own accord. So that doesn't look like an F91W in the back. We have got no, I don't even know what that is. Perhaps that's the speaker, maybe. I think that might be the speaker. This looks absolutely nothing like a Casio F91W. Normally inside any Casio, you're going to see the word Casio written somewhere on the plating. Um, every Casio I've ever taken apart, and that's probably been 50 plus, Casio's written somewhere inside without having to really do too much digging. So this is very clearly a fake. And also we've got no rubber gasket here, so I'd worry about this watch going in water. There's no way I would take this watch in water. So that's a giveaway as well, if you have to. But hopefully the 6 tips that I gave you before this will mean that you don't have to take it to pieces to actually spot whether it's a fake or not. I'm actually quite surprised. I've never seen inside a fake watch before. I'm not even sure how you would change the battery in this one. I'm guessing, I really don't know actually. I'd have to take it even further to pieces to kind of work out what's going on with the battery. I'm not even sure what battery it takes either. Just trying to see down the edges here, but no, I'm not worried for now. So I'm just going to put it back together. I'm going to assume that's the speaker. So that's our fake F91W back together again. Based on what I've just seen inside, I would not recommend buying a fake. I intentionally bought this. I knew it was going to be a fake. I wanted to make this video. I would probably suggest don't buy an F91W from eBay unless you're very good at spotting them. And if you can't afford one brand new, buy a used one. These things are pretty bulletproof. Even if you get a used one, it's going to last you for a long time into the future. So if you can't afford an F91W and you still want one, look for a used one. They go for really reasonable prices.